Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. Well, women empowerment may sound a bit more abstract if you have not come into contact with situations and people that expose you to just how much more work there is to be done to ensure that many more women and girls live up to their full potentials in a patriarchal world. Nigerian actress Stephanie Okereke-Linus, well, she likes to be referred more to as Stephanie Linus rather than Stephanie Okereke. Well, she's now UNFPA Regional Ambassador for Maternal Health for West and Central Africa. She's right here in the studio with me. I'm excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, I also have in the studio with me Ni Ojolakbe, UNFPA's country representative. I got that perfect, didn't I?
Yes.
You should be giving me a clap. Okay, so you're welcome, lady and gentlemen. What does your position as UNFPA Ambassador for Women in Health in West and Central Africa actually mean?
So please, what does my position mean?
Okay.
What does my position mean?
I'm sure you can explain it better, but then if I may, is the ambassador, and that means she's the one who represents UNFPA, who advocates for UNFPA about the issues of women's health and maternal health generally in the West and Central African region.
Okay. Yeah. When you say the Western and Central African region, which countries are we looking at?
We're looking at, if you take the map of Africa and somewhere in between, you cut it into two. Yes, somewhere up there. Yeah, that's yes.
About 21 countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then let me find out from you, what is it that you're coming on board with? What is it that's driving you, and what are you going to drive with? What's driving you?
Well, basically, maybe I had to say why I even was appointed. I think what is driving me is the fact that I see a lot of injustice, and I've come in contact with a lot of women who have gone through horrible maternal health situation that I feel that it's just not necessary, it's unnecessary for them to be going through that. And I was able to produce a movie called Dry, which helped to shed more light on the maternal health issues that we have, narrowing down to fistula and early marriage and most of the consequences that come with it. And that movie has been able to was able to create awareness about fistula, help shift conversation and become more like a catalyst for change. And UNFPA being an organization that is working and is so focused on maternal health issues and making sure that every pregnancy is wanted. And they just felt that, okay, this sort of aligns with what you're doing, and the fact that I just did it on my own, and they just felt that they could see the passion. I mean, it's something that I'm a woman, and I think no woman should die while giving birth to life. So I think is such a horrible injustice that is happening, and we need to find ways to draw attention to it and see ways we can improve it.
It's interesting that you bring that up, the fact that women shouldn't die giving life, because just this week here in Ghana, 48, and this is the reported figure, 48 mothers have died somewhere in the central region, just giving in the first quarter of the year. Wow. This is something that's happened just
recently.
Yes, just recently. But let me find out from you, what is it that triggered you to do that particular video? I've seen it, and even I, as a journalist, didn't have a full appreciation of the extent of problem that fistula was. So I appreciated it from that video. What is it that drove you? You've spoken about your personal experiences, but make it a bit more personal so we understand.
Second year at the university, a friend of mine came back from UniJust. I was a second year, and she just told me stories about young girls living up north having fistula, leaking urine, and it sounded really strange to me because we're living in the same country and I've never heard of it. I'm like, are you serious? So I just felt that, wow, why would that happen to anybody? So I just realized that I think we're lucky. We're lucky that we have a choice. We're lucky that we have access to education. We have parents who could send us to school, decide what happens to your body, have a choice. And a lot of people, that actually made me realize that a lot of people don't have a choice. And some of them are voiceless. And the more I started researching, I came across horrible stories. I even met a woman that had fistula since 1976, and she only got cured in 2010. So you can imagine living all your life with fistula. So that means you've become a nuisance. Your family has left you. You can't work. You know, so economically, you know, there's nothing you can offer this, you know, the society. So I just felt that this is a horrible situation. Like we're just wasting lives, and it is so unnecessary. So I just started researching, and the more I researched it, the more I felt the need to speak up for these voiceless women that a lot of people don't know, or they know but just don't want to talk about it. So I just felt, what is the best way to do it as a filmmaker? You know, tell the story through films and pass on the message, and that's what I've been able to capture. And UNFPA, even when they watch the film, they say we don't even need to say anything. They don't go watch the film. You know, they get it. You know? So I just felt it was necessary to talk about these things that are happening in our society through film.
It is indeed necessary. Let me find out from you, what is your target for Stephanie? What is it that you want her to achieve within what time frame?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me thank you once more for bringing us on your program. It's a privilege and opportunity that we appreciate greatly. Now, the work that we do in UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, is to look after the health of women generally, especially women who are in those stages whereby they deal with issues of pregnancy, pre, during, and after. We were able to bring Stephanie in because the film that she produced and put out there already tells a lot of stories. And through that film, we can pass a lot of messages across. So in that wise, she's already an ambassador. Now, going beyond that, we needed to, there's only so much that we can do. Like you see, the UN and people who do the kinds of work that we do, we call ourselves, we are referred to as development partners. So development partnering is a situation whereby you have quite a number of people doing the same job. So we cannot do it alone. Government cannot do it alone. There are also other gatekeepers in the society who have to do stuff.
Stephanie is definitely one of them
Stephanie
in this case.
Is one of, I mean, is a major one in this case, who has partnered with us in order to spread the message across. What I would say, that nobody will listen to me on the streets of Accra. If Stephanie says it, people will listen. So that's why we need a voice to amplify ours. So because she has a core competence of reaching out to people, many people recognize her, a lot of people respect her and they take her for what she says. Compared to myself, I'm a more technical person and people wouldn't even understand what I'm saying. So ours is to amplify our voice and pass a message across, not just to the generality of the populace, but also to decision makers and stakeholders. For example, we're just coming from the Office of the Minister of Gender, and with our presence there, we're able to amplify. That told government that we actually mean business.
You mean business, but what is the target? I want to find out if there's a target. Like, do you have any statistics, anything that you're looking at, so that at the end of the day you can measure what impact you have made? We have
loads of statistics. I can tell you,
statistics.
I can tell you, in the world today, we have 800 women who die today from pregnancy-related issues, which are things that we can prevent. For the particular film that she produced, which is on fistula, that is very, very measurable, because what we want to do is, one, prevent the occurrence of fistula, one, and secondly, for those who already have it, it can be repaired, have it repaired. So one, if last year we know that on the average you have about 100 people who have fistula in the course of the year, but we can work towards making sure that it doesn't get to that figure anymore. Then thereafter, we need resources to repair fistula patients. For example, on the average, we need about $400. It's that simple, it's that small, to repair a fistula patient. So with the advocacy, we can get more resources to make sure that there is nobody that has fistula.
Let's look at the root of the problem. The root of the problem, we are told, is child marriage. That child marriage is, you know, it's one of the major causes of fistula, because the children are not, the girls are not developed well enough to be engaging in sex and having children, etc., and that causes it. What is it that, do you have any initiative, you know, that's targeting child marriage, for example, in Nigeria or anything like that?
Well, child marriage is one of the problems. Okay. It's not all. To me, I think the major problem is poverty.
Okay.
Do you understand? That's what I think, because some people say, oh, it's religious, it's cultural. I say, well, I've seen people in the same religion, in the same culture, but if they're rich, they make a different decision for their girl child.
Okay.
Unlike the man who is poor, who has no choice and maybe want to give out his daughter at an early age. But I also, from my research, I've also understood that fistula can happen to anybody.
Okay.
A woman who is pregnant, at the point of delivery, if she doesn't get the necessary professional help that she needs, she goes into prolonged labor. Even if you're older, you're going to have fistula. Right. That is just what I've discovered. Okay. And there's a lot of other people who have had fistula to even cesarean section. There's a whole lot of things going on, you know. But I'm just saying that the maternal health care system is at its lowest. Okay. And that is what we need to be. When you say what we need to achieve, we want good health care. That's what we need to achieve. Right. That's what you need, and that's what I need, and that's why we're speaking out. That the healthcare situation in Africa, we should be better. Fistula was eradicated 18 centuries ago in the Western world. We're in the 21st century, and we're still talking about fistula. Okay. So if all hands on deck, if we really dedicate ourselves and we're focused and we're serious, it's something that can be eradicated. Maternal health can be improved tremendously in Africa, and that's why we're on this journey, and that's what we're talking about.
Okay, so you're targeting, let's say, government, heads of states, government institutions.
Everyone, government to provide the enabling environment, create the laws, hold people accountable, people to be aware, to be educated, to make the right decisions for their children, for their families, women should be allowed to have access to education, good health care when they need it, the community to not castigate people who have fistula, just I think all of us there's not a lot of what you, the press, speaking about it, holding people accountable, linking the people and the government, passing on the right kind of information that people need and directing them to what they're supposed to do. So it's a tango. We are all in it together.
We are all in it together. But like he says, there's a group of people who have a bigger platform. Let's talk about how, as a Nigerian actress, someone in Nollywood, is there anything, are you targeting Nollywood as well as one of the areas that, you could push this agenda through?
Yes, that's why when they even invited me, tomorrow we're going to be going at the Glitz Award. I was like, wow, fantastic. Let's get a lot of creative people in the room and say, what are the creative ways that you can tell positive stories that can change your world? Yeah. And as after Dry, a lot of filmmakers are now beginning to think about, stories that they can tell to educate people's mind. Yeah. We need it so much in Africa, apart from comedy and making people like, we have so many problems and so many cultural practices, things are just going on in our society that we need to talk about so that we can elevate ourselves from this third world and this situation that we are in. So yes, the Nollywood industry, the creative industry also in Ghana and the Gollywood, everybody should think of, okay, what platform do I have? How can I contribute? And that's what I thought about. Okay. I thought about when I heard about it, what can I do? In my power, like what, because I think we all have power in our little ways. So you have the power sitting on this seat, passing on information to people. So I thought about it as, okay, let me do this in the film. Let me research, get the right information, put it out there. visually people get to see it. It will stick to them, it's to stick. And somehow, someone will like you said, you didn't have information about it. You watch it, you got more information.
Yeah, and it's stuck. So, I still see your face when I think of fistula, by the way. I mean, not that, I sort of see that video. I know. I sort of see a bit of that video. It was very emotional. Yeah. It was very emotional, I think.
So because people think it's those people. So we needed to make them that it could be your daughter.
It could be your daughter.
It could be your mother, your sister. It's around us.
Give us a little bit of information about fistula for people who perhaps haven't seen the video. A bit of information, a bit of education should do.
Basically, is when a woman is in labor and she doesn't have access to good maternal health care, and she has prolonged labor, and she's been trying to deliver her baby. Sometimes why we're saying early marriage is because it's more prominent to young girls who have not fully developed, and maybe their pelvis is too narrow, and they're trying to go through it the natural way. And then maybe they keep pushing and keep pushing and keep waiting for days. Some people will last for like 3 days. are in labor for like 3 days, 7 days. By that time, they're exhausted. The baby's head is already pressing on your bladder. And with that whole prolonged, that whole process, and if the right, they say woman should not be in labor more than 12 hours before, you know, you get a professional help, you know, that's what they say. But, you know, in that moment, if you don't get the professional help, or so many things can go wrong. So by the time they end up giving birth to the babies usually, they die and they become stillborn, or they've already bored a hole on your bladder, or, you know, so, and by the time you push the baby out, you just find out that you become incontinent. You can't hold your urine again. So you can imagine now you're pressed, you can go as you like, but some people, they just don't have control over it. And then they start smelling. You find some of them, their husbands leave them, their family, their parents, they reject them, and they feel like, yo, some people say, oh, maybe you've committed an adultery or you're a witch. So there's so many other things, you know, that happens. And when they reject them, so what happens? You find out that they can't provide for themselves, so they live in remote places feeling that the world has rejected them and all of that. But I actually want to tell them today that there is hope, that you can get repair wherever you are. Find a fistula hospital that is close to you, get the right information. It's about 30 to 45 minutes operation, you can get repaired. Even this is more than a film. After doing the film, I also raise funds to repair women. Through my foundation, I've repaired over 100 and something women in Nigeria. Wow. So it's not something that, you know, we just did the film, but we're doing the work. And that's why I'm also passionate working with UNFPA to make sure that we do this work and get it right. And, you know, that's why we're doing this.
I'm very hopeful, and now that you've moved away from Nigeria, it won't just be a Nigerian thing. We have fistula as well. People with fistula in the northern part, especially of Ghana, here in Ghana as well. So which countries are you going to be traveling to? What's the plan? Are you happy to go, or should she go?
We've gone to Gambia, Congo, we're in Ghana, we're still touring.
Okay, where else are you going from here?
Well,
we actually have plans, because it's all about advocacy. And like she said, there are three levels of things that we want to do. One, to prevent. And the prevention work means that she needs to talk to the general populace and also the gatekeepers in the society who would direct people where to go to. That's one. Secondly, for those who already have it, we need to get those people repaired because they are alive, and I mean, if you don't deal with them, you're going to live miserable lives. That's second. Then the third is, after repairing them, these are people who have been ostracized from the society for one reason or the other, and they are not in a position to make ends meet. So we also try to create an enabling environment whereby we get them paid to do things in such a way that they will be able to get employed and all of that. So those last two means that you need to talk to not just the people who might be affected, but to those who you want to call decision makers, who have resources, who can provide resources to for us to undertake the repairs, and also to set people up in businesses or in trades or what have you. So beyond going to the general populace, we're also targeting high-end people like the presidents, people who have private sector individuals who are rich and who can provide resources for us. And in that circumstance, we are planning to that Stephanie should come to New York during the forthcoming General Assembly, whereby she'll be able to speak to, we are planning an assemblage of about 10, 20 first ladies and ministers from across, from all over the world who will be in the audience, will have a film, and then we'll take it from there.
Great. Can I join her?
Oh,
all right. Well, let me get a little bit personal with you. I saw your fairy tale wedding. I loved it. I want to have a wedding like that.
Oh, why not? Of course.
How does it feel to be a wife and a mother in Nollywood?
Why does it have to be in Nollywood? You know, when they say
remove Nollywood. I really didn't want to add Nollywood. It just came up. So remove Nollywood. How does it feel to be a wife and a mother?
It feels great.
And a career woman as well.
Yeah, it feels very great. I'm very privileged and I'm very happy about it.
That's very generic.
No, I don't.
I'm trying to get personal. You're giving me all these blocks.
Blocks. No, but I think life is about stages. You know, when you're single, pursuing your career, and at some point you're like, okay, I need to get married. And you get married to a great man, and he's wonderful. Like, okay, you start to have a baby, and you have a son who's very strong and bubbly. So, you know, I think it's about stages, but it feels good. You know, and I'm also happy that I wish a lot of people can also experience the kind of thing I'm experiencing, the fact that I have a choice to do the things that I want to do as a woman, and we realize that a lot of women don't have those choices. And so I'm great that, okay, I can take off time to work, concentrate a little bit with my family, that I can also decide, oh, I need to work at this time. So, you know, so it's fun, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
You make it sound very easy. Is it?
Well, if you marry someone you love, make sure you marry the one you love.
How do you know you love the person?
Well, you just have to marry don't worry, your mind will tell you. Right? You know, your gut feelings never fail you. You know, somehow in your sleep, when it goes wrong, you say, but that my mind was telling me, don't go. So,
and then you went.
Just make sure you get it right in the marriage angle, and I think that's like 95%, everything is good.
95% everything is good. It sounds amazing. How is your acting career coming? Is it still as you want it to be?
Well, you just watch my film. So what do you think? Did you see me acting in the movie?
Quite frankly, when I look at Fistula, for instance, I don't see it as a movie. I don't know why.
It's more than a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah, I see. I'm not able to look at it as a movie.
Yeah.
You know, I look at it like some kind of advocacy. It's like some kind of, I don't know, it's more personal to me than a movie.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as
movie is personal.
I know, the acting, where, I mean.
Yeah, because it's real now. So maybe you like the comment, but he's saying something close to that's what I'm saying. Movie is personal because sometimes you watch a movie, you remember things that happened to you in life or your friend or something. Movie is personal in general. But my acting is great. I'm still an actress. I'm also a director, producer, so I've evolved over time. I love to be versatile, so and I love to play different characters. So I'm still on course. I'm still doing what I love doing. I love to, you know, I love working with UNFPA.
Why?
But now, see, we need to change Africa, and we need to start demanding for change. We need to start telling ourselves that we deserve better. I think a lot of us don't understand, don't even know that we deserve better. But, you know, when you see things that are for how long will I continue to suffer in this continent? So we need to start doing things, and if you keep silent, who is going to talk? So the little that you can do, try and do it, so that at least when you look back and say, okay, at least I tried. So if all of us try little by little, we'll get there. So so I'm on point on the things that I'm doing. Yeah.
Engaging government has been some of the things that, well, it's one of the things that you're going to have to be doing now. You've been here, you've met with the gender minister. I'm sure it went well. What are your impressions?
She seems very passionate about VPF. She seems very feisty and very strong. Like she knows what she wants, and she's very. The main thing is that we need to find leaders that have passion and have love, because when a leader leads you with love, he will understand your pain. He will understand that I need to give these people good health care. He will understand that I need to give you a good education. He will understand that I need to create an enabling environment for the youth to be able to find jobs when they get out of school. He will understand because we're supposed to be our brother's keeper. So sometimes that's one of the things I don't understand. How much money? What do you need when you see people? The best thing you could do in life is to help one another. See someone who's done and provide that thing that he needs. So that's the kind of leaders that we need. People who have love, who will lead us to the right direction in Africa. So, and a lot of young people need to start speaking now. Need to start understanding that you're not going to be young forever. I looked at my son. I said, I just dropped one. He's coming up seriously. What do I have to do? What can I do? So it takes all of us to start demanding, because the kind of leadership we get is what we allow. We have the power as a people to change our story. So the earlier we start realizing and start demanding for it, the sooner it will come.
The gender minister did it well.
She did. She's very passionate.
I've had her on this show before as well.
She's very passionate.
We spoke for about an hour.
And that's when your media leader that is passionate, and you just hope that she has all, they have all these political bureaucracy.
Exactly.
But I just hope she has the right to, and let her just do the work.
Let her just do the work.
That's it. But she's very passionate about it, and I'm very glad. She's very. Because sometimes there's some leaders you meet here to say something, their minds are somewhere. But she's very engaging. She engaged all of us, and she knows what she's talking about. And she's the one to give me more, and that's what you want. A leader who wants to listen, who wants information, and wants to give. So, you know, I'm very, very happy.
Well, I hope that she's watching and all the good reviews that she's getting here on the show. But by the way, how Nigeria, let me take your views on Nigeria, because you're talking about leadership and you're talking about change and the passion that I'm seeing in you as well. Yeah. What do you make of the Nigerian's governance in Nigeria at the moment? There's lots of talk about your president. He's not well, is he?
But wishing him to, well, of course he's not well. So, and you know, it's not something you don't wish anybody bad. Definitely. Sickness can befall. I mean, anybody. I had an accident and I broke my leg, so anything can happen. So when someone is ill, all you have to do is that you wish them well, and you hope that they recover. But regardless, we need a massive change in Nigeria. That's what I feel. We need to stand up more. We need to demand more as a people. We need to change the course of this nation. People have been dying and suffering for too long. So I think we need, and it's all across Africa, when you hear different stories, it's like the same story all over again. So, but I think we need to demand more. The government is trying, but it's not only the government, like I said. The government cannot do the work alone. We as a people, what are we doing? Okay. Do you understand? So it's a collective effort. They can't do the work, because if the people say we know government, we tilt and say, okay, let's do the things that they're supposed to do. Okay. But we wish our president all the best, and we wish he recover. He comes back, you know, strong and healthy.
But that doesn't change the fact that we're going to be fighting for what we deserve, right? Are you engaged in social media, UNFPA, on this ambassador, fistula, women health, etc.? To what extent are you engaged in social media? That's the thing now.
I can tell you for free that she's very active on social media, but of course we want to leverage that. But then social media will not just work on its own. Activities will have to happen, and then we'll use the activities to spread out the word. We're doing our best concerning
What about you?
Is it social media?
Yeah.
We love social media. There's a good and the bad.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about, because people are watching, maybe they want to follow you.
They can follow
Is that a different handle for your work with the UNFPA? Or is
just follow me as Stephanie-Linus. That's all. On Instagram, I'm Stephanie-Linus. On Twitter, I'm Stephanie-Linus. On Facebook, I think I'm Stephanie Okereke-Linus. If you missed to remove the Okereke, so, you know. So there's different versions. Just find the one that is marked with blue. You know, that's the original one.
Okay, the one that's marked with blue. I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. But I want you to speak to women, not just in Ghana. I mean, our channel, fortunately for us, goes beyond Ghana. We put it on YouTube at some point as well. But I've had someone send me pictures. I didn't even know that we were in Rwanda. But I think it's because of the DSTV thing. But tell us, speak to the heart of women. What would you tell them?
I want them to know that they have so much power inside them that they don't realize.
Okay, assuming they are in the camera.
On the camera. Now I'm wondering which one is the camera.
This one. Yours is camera one.
Well, women, you have so much power. So much power that, you know, sometimes so much power that we're not using. And that is what we need to focus. Use the power within. Do not be afraid to speak out. Do not be afraid to pursue your dreams. You have only one life to live. Just know that you have only one life to do. Live it to the maximum. Have fantastic family, have your babies, but also find out what is the calling that you have. Go after it. Don't apologize for anything. Yes, we make compromise here and there, but just find satisfaction in who you are created to be. Having a wife and a mother is what comes naturally, but sometimes just, you know, don't be afraid. Step out of your comfort zone. You have so much power, but you don't even realize it. But now you're realizing it today.
Because Stephanie is telling you. Because Stephanie, I'm personally excited. I'm not usually starstruck, but I think I am. I'm very excited to have you. I've been watching you. You know, I don't watch too much of Nigerian movies, but I've been watching you. I like you. I like your style. So
thank you very much.
I'm very encouraged that we're doing this fistula thing together with the UNFPA. You have any final words, sir?
Just to say, please, we need everybody. you might want to know that I'm a Ghanaian for this particular purpose. For this particular purpose, because this is where I work, that is where I live now. So thank you. And you might want to know that the word that we need to go out there is that it's everybody's business to take care of everybody. Development partners are just here to partner with government and with all stakeholders to make lives better for everybody. And the woman in Ghana, the typical woman in Ghana, is the one that we want to look after to ensure that they have the best of life, and that if they choose to be pregnant, the pregnancy must be wanted, and if they go to the point of childbirth, the childbirth must be safe, and for every young people to be able to achieve their potentials.
Let's achieve our potentials. I mean, at a point I thought that we were overflogging the issue about women empowerment and everything. Sometimes you get tired of hearing all the feminism thing and all of that. But I came across a few stories and I thought that, wow, there's still a lot more work to be done. And we all have to put all hands on deck and get it done. Finally, before I let you go, what makes you excited? What makes you relax? What makes you happy?
What makes me... well, so many things make me happy. I don't know which one. There's just so many things.
Give me three.
Your husband is
My husband makes me happy.
Okay.
Him for sure makes me very happy. Makes me mad and makes me happy.
Okay.
The madness is sweet. Is the sweetness of the happiness. So he makes me really happy, and my son makes me happy, and just generally being a source of. You know, like what would I call myself? Just lending a hand.
Lending a hand
makes me happy.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing putting a smile on someone's face makes me really happy.
Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Thank you. Stephanie Linus, Stephanie Okereke-Linus, they're all her name, passing through. She's now ambassador, UNFPA ambassador for women health in the West and Central African regions. And I also have here in the studio Niyi Ojolakbe. He's a UNFPA country representative for Ghana. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for passing through.